Well, the excitement is building ahead of the return to Singapore of the prog metal titans Dream Theater. Earlier on this week, I spoke to the drummer Mike Portnoy, who, of course, is back in the classic Dream Theater lineup ahead of the Evening with Dream Theater 40th anniversary show coming along on February 3rd at the Star Theater. Now, talking about classic lineup, a founding member, no less. John Myung is with me. John, great to have you with us here. Thanks so much for joining us. And here on Words and Music, we can't wait to hear your thoughts on returning to Singapore. It's a place you've visited regularly down the years. How do you feel about this latest visit?
I'm very much looking forward to it. Um, with Mike Portnoy back in the band, it's everything has sort of come full circle. Um, we feel really great about the new record, and feel really great about this tour that we're doing, playing a lot of older classics, and as well as focusing on the most current album, Parasomnia. So it's great to be doing what we're doing after so many years. So it's been really positive for us and for the fans, and it's amazing um, to play these songs every night and to be able to get the type of feedback that we get from our fans. It's the best feeling in the world.
I'll get into a few of those things in just a moment, but just quickly about Singapore. Is there anything particularly special about being here? I know you've been here a ton of times down the years. Is there something you particularly look forward to about coming to this part of the world? I know this has been a long tour cycle already, but here you are in Southeast Asia for the first stop off.
Singapore is just an amazing place. What's there to not like about it? Um, it's it's warm, and it's a very pleasant place to visit. Um, I wish I had more time to spend there, but I'm just lucky enough to go there when we do, to take it in while we're there. It's always great to visit, and very much looking forward to coming back there. We'll be there. It looks like 3rd of February. We'll be there at the Star Theater.
Yeah, and it's going to be a wonderful occasion, and the fans are so excited about what you're going to be bringing. Now, of course, many of them, as you said already, you have such a dedicated fan base. You have fans that are so intimate in terms of their knowledge of your music. But what can you promise? What can you say is going to be special about this particular show? When I spoke to Mike the other night, obviously he spoke about curating an evening celebrating 4 decades and some 16 albums worth of material. From your own perspective, John, what do you think is the biggest thing, the most amazing aspect of the show that you're going to bring to us?
I think just the timeless aspect that music has. Um, we're playing a lot of songs that were written in the early '90s, um, and we're playing stuff that was just recently written within the past couple of years. So the thing that amazes me is when once you're performing the music and you're in the moment, it's kind of just a special place to be. It's a very timeless thing. So that's the interesting aspect of what we do. And that's the interesting aspect of live music. It's very much a thing that's in the moment. It's not anywhere else. It's right here, right now. And being able to share that every night is a really kind of magical experience, really. The live concert uh, concept is very much that, just being in the moment.
I love the way that you say that, and that applies across so many things in life. That authentic, unique, only in this moment experience that you're privileged to be able to deliver. The other thing, as well, of course, about your fans is that some of them are so intimately note knowledgeable when it comes to your music. Does that keep you on your toes, particularly when you're working your way back through a canon that takes you into material you might not have played for a while?
It does. It's it's why we have to put the time in to prepare. There's no way you could just jump into this without preparation. There's just too many things, too much detail. Um, but that's part of the challenge. And when we get it right, the fans do appreciate that.
Hmm.
So it makes it well worth it.
Are there any particular songs or parts of the set that you're really finding enjoying at the moment, or you think particularly are just resonating with you just now?
Um, it's not one particular song. I mean, every every song has its special qualities to it. It's really just the whole evening, just the flow of the whole evening.
Mm.
It is kind of what what makes it what it is. It's not. It's about the whole. Every song is just a piece to the puzzle of this grand piece, which is the show. So it's just a big journey for
Y-
us.
Let's talk about the journey a little bit, really, because, when you do something like this, and it's not something that we always get a privilege of being able to do in life, it means that you do get a chance to actually look back and assess what has happened in the course of this musical journey, right back to when you guys first started out. And of course, there's a classic lineup involved here as well, with Mike involved. What dynamic has his return brought to the shows?
Well, dynamic of completion, I think. Um, the only place you could really return to is home. You can leave, but if you want to come back, there's only one place that you can call home. So the fact that Mike is back, um, it's great to have him back. So we're a full house, and it feels great to have Mike back in the band. It's there's just this unwritten communication um, that happens when you have a chemistry with people that you work with. And I think that chemistry, how do you determine if you have chemistry or not? I think you can determine if you have chemistry if you don't have to say anything and things just happen.
Hmm.
Everything just plays the perfect part. There's no need to explain. So it's that unwritten communication that gives us the chemistry that we have, and that's what makes what we do special, I think.
And the beauty of this is that you come to it having also written new music as part of this lineup as well, with Mike involved as well. And when you listen to some of the stuff on Parasomnia, there's an energy and a drive to the music. And did you feel? I mean, and your bass is right out there, right up front, and it's fantastic as far as a lot of fans are concerned. Was there a conscious effort to make sure that the technicality of what you didn't swamp or overcome the energy? Because there's a real drive about some of the songs you're playing, particularly those that I think you've been playing live.
Yeah, I think you know, every album we try to do something better than we did, and pay attention to things like how the songs come across, the way we write, how everything sounds. We're always making improvements on sound and in our equipment. So it's just it's always a culmination of something new being added. Uh, it may not be obviously out front. It could be like a new piece of gear that someone is trying, or a new guitar or a new bass. And so, from a gear perspective and from a creativity perspective, there's always something new being added, which makes the new music a little different every time. And part of the process for us is when we start a new album is to kind of start really from a fresh place, disengage from the disengage from what we've done in order for us to be able to try something new, embark on a new direction. So it's just the process of letting go and inviting new experiences and that makes the music. That's what keeps it fresh anyway for me.
It's wonderful to hear that you can do that, all these albums in and this far along the journey as well. Just going back to the dynamic within the band, when you make new music, but then when you go out on the road and you play together again, how do you find that your dynamic within the band has evolved? And right now, where are you? You know, what's the vibe like within the group?
Um, the vibe is, you know, we have to get it right, and everyone doing their part to be in the moment and to deliver the best performance you can every night. To
Mm.
hitting all the changes and get everything right because our fans know every nuance of our music, so they know if we're on or off. So there's a responsibility there too, you know, to make sure we can pull it off.
You know,
And
listening to you speak like that and talk about the responsibility, and you know, I think you're probably known for your rigorous approach to preparation as well. It must be incredibly demanding on you, particularly when you're doing a showcase like this, where you're performing over some 3 hours and you've got to be on. How do you ensure that you can always be on night after night, and again with the travel and everything else that's thrown in?
well, we have to prepare. It's all in how we prepare so that um, I think one of the best feelings you could have in life is being feeling like you prepared for something, like you've walked into a challenging situation, that you feel prepared, or at least
Mm.
you know, at least you know that you did your best to prepare and you feel ready. Um, so when we embark on a tour, getting to that place is really important.
Mm.
It's the goal for me, but it's also one of the most satisfying things to experience when you walk into a situation and you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I feel prepared. And I'm glad I put all the work in because I feel it now. I'm feeling all you know, I'm feeling all the positivity of the work that was put in prior. So that's what makes it rewarding.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm blessed in that I come from an entertainment background, but also a sports background. And what you just said resonates so much. There's a lot of professional athletes that I've worked with who talk about earning the right to play, almost rehearsing for the right to be spontaneous. And that when you're so absolutely secure that in the knowledge that your preparation has been fully all you need it to be, then that empowers you to be able to just take it to another level when you are out there in that live environment. So that's a magical place to be, I'm sure. Just quickly, I'm going to throw a couple of more sort of specific questions at you, starting off with, do you have a particular pre-show ritual or habit that just gets you where you need to be? Is this something that you'll be doing here in Singapore ahead of our show on the 3rd of February?
Pre-show ritual for me is uh, just having at least a few hours to warm up, or at the very bare minimum, an hour to warm up. Um, it's really imperative that I'm able to reconnect with my instrument and feel warmed up in order to feel ready. I can't just pick up my instrument cold and play the
Mm.
way I want to. So I would say like at least having an hour to warm up is so important to me.
And physically, how about the demands on you in terms of we're all trying to keep ourselves going as best we can, but how do you feel that the shows now impact you?
um, it's definitely a challenge as you get older. Um, so sleep is not overrated. You just have to make sure. It's very much sticking to a schedule the best you can. Making sure that you're not staying up. too late right after a show. I mean, my ritual is very regimented on tour. You know, after the show, you know, it's I have dinner and then I go to bed and that's it. You know, it's like I'm very routine oriented, and but you need your rest and you need to stay hydrated and eat quality food, and that's what keeps you going. That's what enables you to have a great night, and then enables you to have a great night the next night, and then the next night after that. You know, it's very much a marathon. So that is the other challenge of what we do is the just being able to keep yourself together. You know, night after night, because the traveling does wear you down after a while.
And the thing that's fascinating about that is that you're delivering, because of course for the fans it's the moment, isn't it? It's a one-off unique moment, but for you, you've got to produce a one-off unique moment and then repeat it, and that's the trick to what you do. Just quickly, a little bit more broadly, is there anything surprising or little known about your musical journey that you could share with us in terms of something that fans may not fully know about you?
Well, me and John Petrucci, you know, dreamt of doing what we're doing now as teenagers.
Mm.
And the fact that it became a reality, and we've known each other for so long. And that, you know, we grew up, you know, me, John and Mike, I mean, the whole band really, we all grew up with common bands that we loved, like Iron Maiden and Rush. Um, I would say Rush is probably the most defining band that kind of unites us in terms of, um, you know, having a band that we all really look up to and respect so much. Um, you know, I started violin at a very young age, at 5, uh, and studied classical music for 10 years, and then switched to bass guitar
Mm.
in my mid-teen years. And it's just been this incredible journey of doing lots of interesting things along the way, like having a signature instrument with the company that I'm with, Ernie Ball Music Man, and creating customized instruments that I feel really great about to play, which is an important part of what I do too, because you know, but without the right gear and really good equipment, um, it's very much an integral part of what I do, being able to have those tools. So it's just been this amazing journey that I'm really thankful to have.
Wonderful to think that you dreamed of it, and this is now where we are. I'm just going to throw some quick fire questions at you, if that's okay. So fairly short
Sure,
questions, just quick
sure.
answers off the top of your head, and we'll wrap after that. So starting off with top 3 Dream Theater songs that you're most proud of.
Top 3 Dream Theater song. Well, Pull Me Under put us on the map. So that would have to be one of them. Um, I would say just Images and Words in general is probably um, would have to be one of them. And it's really, really hard to narrow it down. Um, and I really like Train of Thought. Uh, that was like um, an album that we did exactly what we set out to do. We wanted to write an album that pretty much was on the go from the first note to the last note. So I find that album to be really great to play live too. Um, but it's really hard. I mean, every album has something unique about it.
What's the hardest Dream Theater song for you to play live?
The hardest Dream Theater song, I don't know, it'd probably be glass prison over 6 degrees with their turbulence um, to get through. Anyway, it's just very there's aspects to it that are very physically intensive. Um, but you know what? Apart from that, like every song can be difficult um, if you're not prepared to play it.
There
You
you
know,
go. Preparation is everything.
yeah, music is that unique thing where you can listen to something and it can sound easy. It could be like the most simplest, country song or a rock song or whatever. It could sound simple, but it only sounds simple because the person that played it was prepared to play it.
Yep.
So it sounds simple, but it's really not because it's kind of like golfing too. Like I don't know if you've ever golfed,
Oh
and
yeah.
when you're on the putting green, it looks really simple, right? All you have to do is just hit the ball and it goes right in. But no, it's not. It's so what you don't consider is that so much can go wrong. For every right note, there's 11 notes that could be a mistake, right? So it's not easy. Even if something sounds easy, it's still not easy. It's only easy if you know it.
There you go. I love that. We've just arrived at a secret to so much in life. You make something look easy by just working damn hard at it. There you go. Could you name one musician or musicians who's influenced you the most?
Probably probably Geddy Lee from Rush. I'm a big Geddy fan. You know, really appreciate his contributions. Musically, um, and everyone in Rush. I'm a big Rush fan. Um, but I would say um, when I go when I need to like check in with my roots and kind of revisit past or revisit early inspirations, I'm usually listening to Rush albums.
Sure, that's great. And I was just, on that note as well, what was the first album that made you want to be a musician?
The first album, that's a good question. I don't know if there's that one record but like Iron Maiden and Rush, uh, the music that they were doing, um, really inspired me to want to play. So I would credit those bands.
Hmm.
And um, I don't know if I could just focus on one record.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Is there an artist you're particularly excited about listening to right now?
An artist, a band. I really like. I was turned on to a band called Death Cab for Cutie a while back,
Yeah,
and there's something about the chemistry of that band where I really just like um, the lyrics, storytelling, and the music. Um, and it's kind of like I have that same feeling about them that it did with Rush, where with every new Rush album there was an anticipation and I couldn't wait. So so if anything, I kind of have that kind of anticipation with them that kept keeping really appreciate them what they do musically as a band.
yeah, and they tell great
And
stories, Death Cab for Cutie as well, don't they?
yeah, it's very I don't know, there's something about it. The production, the sounds, everything, just really um when I need to go somewhere and just kind of take a break, that's usually a place I go, a band that I go to. Um, but it could be anybody. It could be Peter Gabriel, it could be Miles Davis, it could be Iron Maiden, it could be a Rush album. Um, it's really important to just go to something that you find does it for you,
Mm.
because that's a good starting point for where you're going to get your ideas from. So uh, the ideas have to come from somewhere. So they need to come from something that's inspiring, at least inspiring to you.
All right, I'll wrap it up with a couple of questions. This one is, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Best piece of advice. Um, I don't know, but I've determined what's the most important to me. But I think it's different for everybody. Um, I would say really good advice to me is to have really good equipment and to really kind of prioritize that, because nothing's um, you know if you're really trying to achieve something, what I've determined from experience is that having the right gear and the right equipment um, develops a certain type of result that becomes part of what you do creatively. So it's a really important element to have really good equipment,
Love
really
that,
good
because that's
tools.
actually answered. That's answered the second question, which was going to be, what advice would you give to anybody? And it's pretty much, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, to put the time in. I mean, nothing's going to happen overnight, and to have really good tools, to prioritize the tools that you have, um, and then, it's it's a good way to start the journey.
Love that. Well, we know that you're going to be ready as you always are. We know it's going to be unbelievable when you come to the Star Theatre on February the 3rd here in Singapore, and we really look forward to it. John, thanks so much for joining us. Would you just do us one more thing and just give it a shout out to some fans? We've got a lot of people coming along already, but if you just want to sort of say, hi, I'm John and can't wait to see you all. February 3rd, and funnily enough, it's the Star Theatre for Dream Theatre for your 40th anniversary, something along those lines. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, this is John Myung from Dream Theater, and we'll be in Singapore on the 3rd of February at the Star Theatre. We're very much looking forward to playing in Singapore again, and I can't wait to arrive and take in the nice weather there. And I hope everyone's doing well, and look forward to seeing everyone soon.